Kyriakos Mitsotakis, Prime Minister of Greece, thank you so much for speaking to Bloomberg again. Very nice to see you. I wondered if I could begin with the summer. Many people, perhaps including me, want to come to Greece. What will be the system for those people who have been vaccinated? Will there be more deals, like you seem to be close to doing one with Israel, where people with vaccines will be able to come through almost automatically?
Well, John, thank you very much for having me. I was the first European leader to raise the issue of a common European vaccine certificate, which will serve the purpose of simplifying travel once a significant percentage of people have been vaccinated. Essentially, a vaccine certificate will allow you to enter Greece without being forced to provide a negative test and without any quarantine restrictions. And we do intend to go down that path. We have agreed in principle with Israel that we will accept their vaccine certificate in order to facilitate travel from Israel to Greece. And I do hope that at some point at the European level, we will also agree on a common vaccine template, certificate template for all European countries. John, people will want to travel, especially during the summer. And it doesn't make much sense to me not to facilitate travel to the extent that we feel comfortable to welcome people who have been vaccinated. For those who have not been vaccinated, the most likely scenario is that we will request some sort of negative test. But for those who have been vaccinated, we want to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to travel to Greece. I see a lot of EU member states having an interest to explore this idea further. And I think the reason is that their citizens want to travel, and they want us to make travel as easy as possible, especially during the summer holidays.
And are there specific things you will do for the places that people want to go in Greece, to the islands? Are you looking to vaccinate those people first in Greece? Are you giving any kind of priority towards the economy and where you put your vaccines?
Well, first of all, Greece overall has done better than most European countries in dealing with the pandemic, which was sort of unexpected given that we entered this adventure with an underfunded healthcare system. But if you look at our statistics, they are much better than most European countries. And we've also rolled out vaccinations faster than many other European countries. It is a completely digital process, which came as a surprise to many Greeks. And so far, we've been able to vaccinate people at a relatively fast pace. Of course, we're very dependent on the number of vaccines that we are receiving from Europe. I do expect the number of vaccines come Q2 to ramp up significantly. Right now, our priority is to vaccinate older people. Then we will move to people with underlying conditions. And once we address these two categories, we will look at prioritizing vaccines. But by then, hopefully, we will have more vaccines and we will be able to administer given the demand in Greece. And we do hope that come summer, a significant percentage of the Greek population will be vaccinated. I should remind you that we opened up for tourism last year, and we did it in a completely safe manner. And during last summer, we didn't have the tools that we have at our disposal now. There was no vaccination, and even in terms of testing, there was limited testing available. Now we will both have the vaccine protection and we have additional testing capacity, which of course is very, very helpful when you try to open up your country to travel.
How frustrated are you with the European Union in this respect? I mean, Greece was outstanding when it came to coping with the first waves of COVID. And now I think with the vaccine, you're around 6% of your population you've done. But because of the slow introduction you're vaccinating people as quickly as you can get hold of the vaccine. But there is this problem about supply, and that seems to go back to Brussels. You know, how much do you think the Commission was at fault for that?
John, I've been an ardent supporter of the concept that Europe needed to purchase vaccines at the European level and then distribute them to all member states on a per capita basis, essentially making no distinction between rich countries, poor countries, large countries, small countries. And as a medium-sized European country, we have benefited from this approach. Now, there's no doubt that there were issues in terms of the execution of this project. And I think the President of the Commission, boldly enough, accepted her share of responsibility. And now we need to move forward to make sure that as new vaccines are approved, this approval will happen very, very quickly, and that we will not run behind other countries in terms of how quickly we actually receive the vaccines. So I'm sure that even in Brussels, at the administrative level, at the bureaucratic level, the lessons, have been, we've accepted what has happened, and we've learned our lesson, and we need to move forward to make sure that, come March, come April, as new vaccines will be approved, that there is no further delay in delivering the vaccines to the member states. Again, we have the capacity to administer many more vaccines that we're currently administering, and we have the infrastructure in place. It's simply a question of getting our hands on the vaccines, and this is, at the end of the day, a European decision.